I think the coach should have been fired after last night. What does that say about what you're doing? These players are pathetic. That's how disgusted I am. First question, you wanted to start with me. It's from our old friend, Nikki from the Bronx. Nikki,
OG.
Nikki, I know you're looking forward to the MLB season. I know you're looking forward to the Mets and watching Juan Soto and Orange, so very nice. But he did go a little bit at my throat here just because he knows I'm a Ranger fan. So I'll give him his time of day, okay? Dean, been here before, obviously a longtime listener. Wanted to ask you a question about the NHL, specifically about your New York Rangers. The Rangers had one of their most horrific losses in recent memory against the Calgary Flames the other night, where they were fighting for a playoff position and came out like they were a bottom tier team in the NHL. Thanks, Nikki, for actually reliving that in my head. I really do appreciate that. My question to you is, if they don't make the playoffs, assuming they won't, what changes would you like to see immediately this offseason to turn around the team for next? Very loaded question. So first and foremost, yes. As an NHL fan, as a Ranger fan, I could honestly say this, where the game last night against the Calgary Flames could have been the worst, disappointing, disheartening, lackluster, toxic game that I have ever watched as a New York Ranger fan. Going into this game, Calgary was on a back-to-back. The Rangers are fighting for their playoff lives, and they have 13 shots on goal the entire game. So after that game, I can confidently say, and I agree with Nikki, they will not be making the playoffs. Okay? And even if they do, I want Derek to hold this to me. I will not be talking good about them at all. I don't even want to discuss them anymore on this podcast, if I'm being completely honest, until next year. That's how disgusted I am with them. They're a disgraceful team, and they no effort, no heart. Go fuck yourselves, Rangers. However, that's not the question. The question is, after the season is over, they miss the playoffs, what changes would you make? First and foremost, GM, coach, gone. I want a new regime. I honestly think it's proven at this point, right? I think the coach should have been fired after last night. This team, quite literally, I'm being dead ass, fighting for their playoff lives, came out like they were a college team against an NHL team. No effort, horrible heart on the floor, no hitting, no passing, no scoring whatsoever outside the first 2 minutes of the game. The only reason it was a 2-1 game at the end was because Igor Shesterkin actually cares about what he's doing. I think Lavalette should be gone immediately. Get him out. He's clearly not motivating the players. I don't want him anymore. Get the fuck out. Secondly, to the GM, I want him out too. Right? He's constructed this team from top to bottom. He made 3 trades at this year's deadline, Derek. 3 trades at this deadline. All 3 of those players, Dahan, Parsonen, Susie, all healthy scratches this week. What does that say about what you're doing? You're giving up 3rd and 4th round picks and even a 2nd round pick for guys who aren't even playing on a nightly basis. Horrible management. Get out. I want you gone. Okay? Second step, it is not all on the coach. These players are pathetic. Right? A coach can only do so much with the system that he has in place and motivating his team. It's up to the players in the end, right? To go out there, give it your all and play.
Yes.
Chris Kreider has given up on this team. It is disappointing because he's been one of the best Rangers of my hockey fandom, and he is going out like a bitch.
Oh
I
my
want
God.
him traded or I want him cut. He is no longer worthy of a roster spot. That's first and foremost. Mika Zibanejad, another one of probably one of the best Rangers that I've seen in my lifetime. He is not going to get any better than he is right now. He's actually continuously on a decline. I would trade him for anything you can get, whether it's a 2nd round pick or whether it's a prospect. Get rid of him. Shed the cap. Third, re-sign Artemi Panarin. He's going into his final year of his contract next year. He looked like the past 2 nights he's the only Ranger who actually gives a shit, who's not named Igor Shesterkin. So I would re-sign him immediately. He is definitely by far the best Ranger I've ever seen in my lifetime, outside of the goaltending. Lundqvist and Igor, putting them aside because they're goats. Those are my first three moves right there. And that is non-negotiable for the new regime. That has to happen in order to move this team forward. You need a new identity. And this also is in the fact that they still may suck next year under my plan. And I think that's okay. I want a full, soft rebuild. And that's my plan for the New York Rangers.
Real quick, this is the only question I have for you. How long of a rebuild as a fan would you want?
Soft rebuild, right? So you do have some decent pieces on this team. Will Cooley is an up-and-coming star. He's really good. Alexi Lafreniere, had a pretty bad second half of this year. I still believe in him, and you just signed him to a 7-year contract. So he's still going to be a part of your plans. You still have Vincent Trocheck under contract. Like I said, I still want Artemi Panarin under contract. So I don't want them to just blow it up completely. I want them to get rid of some of these older guys that are bringing them down. I want them to bring up some of their prospects. Like, I want Brennan Othman to actually play minutes. I want Brett Berard to actually play minutes that aren't on the fourth line with big 7-foot ogre Matt Rempe. Right? I want these guys who actually have skill and talent, who are in our system, to have an opportunity to show that talent. And that's something the Rangers have not done in the past, right? We've flopped on a lot. Capo Caco sucked with us. Philip Hedl, multiple concussions with us, almost died. Alexi Lafreniere has not reached his full potential. We've had so many prospects come up that have sucked after hyping them up for years, Derek, because we are an organization that doesn't know how to manage young players. And I want that to change under a new regime. I want the young players to go onto the first and second line, prove that they can do it. If they still suck, then get the fuck out of here. That's fine. But you can't put them on the fourth line and expect them to just go off. It's not how it works. Fucking Brett Berard is playing with Matt Rempe and Sam Carrick. Are you kidding me? What do you like? If you're a coach or if you're a fan, what do you expect Brett Berard to do? He's gonna have 1 goal in 20 games because nobody on that line knows how to pass the fucking puck. So a change needs to happen. A change organizationally needs to happen for the Rangers to move forward. I am okay with a soft rebuild as long as the entire organizational regime changes. That's my point. Nikki from the Bronx, go fuck yourself. I hope that answered all of your question. We're done talking about the Rangers until next October.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, that was fun. I needed to get that off my chest. I actually felt pretty good, so I appreciate that, Nikki. Woo! God damn, I could literally bench like 400 pounds right now. I feel like I have the energy of a fucking moose.